And I know you favor Nina in this. Would you say a 2-0 or 2-1?
2-1.
2-1. Okay.
I'll give it to Vindicta. Vindicta's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think 2-1. What's what happens, you know? Oh god, I realized I had to find you in like a sea of freaking casters.
Yeah, you
7.
do.
Okay. So here, the bottom left-hand corner of the map on Everdream LE, we have our red Terran player playing for Alpaca X America. It is Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Exxon Gaming. It is Nina.
Why does Exxon Gaming have the Zerg symbol and a DNA thing?
I don't think it's a Zerg symbol. It's oh no, it is. Hold on. Let's go.
It is a Zerg symbol.
Yeah. It's Terran is the N, Protoss is the E, and O is the Zerg.
How is Protoss the E? That looks like the Internet Explorer E.
It does look like the Internet Explorer E, but it's meant to be the Protoss logo. Yeah, and you can see the wings of the Terran logo on the N.
Whatever.
What do you mean? Sure, that's what it is.
Whatever.
God damn. Of course. Shout out to Exxon Gaming. They're a relatively new team. They started up a couple of months ago, and yeah, they've been investing a lot in StarCraft, in specifically the NA region. No pylon block.
If it was a pylon, I would have been so hard.
Yeah, bit of a shame, but yeah, Exxon they've done a lot for the NA scene. They've run their own tournaments as well. I don't think it's consistent, but yeah, they've hosted a couple of events for their NA players, and yeah, they've got players like Nina. They've got Cham as well, and yeah, they've got a couple of like other like mid-tier or up-and-coming players like E.T. Pwn Home. Like they're all on Exxon, so yeah, it's cool to see that like more teams are popping up and supporting the scene.
That Reaper's not gonna get anything.
Wow.
No scouting on them. So what do you think? Twilight? Oh, it's a Twilight. Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say Twilight or Stargate, but it's a Twilight, and it's probably gonna be Blink.
Yep.
Because Blink is the way to go.
Blink, you know, it's a pretty nice opener. You can be really safe with it against like Widowmine drops and Banshees, and you can also like be pretty aggressive with it as well. So it does offer that flexibility, and yeah, it's pretty standard, especially since it does look like we may be seeing a Widowmine drop coming out from Vindicta.
Widowmine drops are good, yo.
Yeah, pretty good.
I like how Vindicta's trying to go up the ramp. Like he's like confused. Like, what is blocking my Reaper from going in? And can't jump. But does see the Twilight cancel. Does see that it's researching, and 2 Stalkers should give him kind of a heads up. Like, it's probably Blink Stalkers, and I should probably be careful about that. But you know, we'll see what happens. They're trying to shade in, just getting some scout, but nothing to be scouted for.
Yeah, still doesn't see what kind of opener, what is coming Nina's way, doesn't know. No, never mind. So yeah, doesn't know whether it's Banshees or anything like that, doesn't know. We'll see if this catches Nina off guard. Either way, like, because of this opener, like, we should see the Stalkers in the mineral lines, right? Like, just ready for whatever's coming.
Well, if Nina pushes out with like an observer, then we might not. We'll see though.
That's very true.
Blink is halfway done. Adept is getting pushed out by Marines, and the medevac is being sent out with the drop. So no mines back home to protect anything, but a siege tank is being made, so possibly get some good internal defense. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, will be pretty solid defensively. Looks like the Stalkers are at home. They are split up pretty nicely. A couple in the main, a couple in the natural as well. And yeah, we'll see how good Nina's reactions are. As Nina does.
Tres.
Yeah.
My good sir. Yeah,
A few, I should say. Not a couple.
A party, as some people would say.
It's going in.
Mine are dropping in.
He's not spinning. Oh god, no!
Nina reacts, but ooh, 5 probes do go down. There's probably one more mine in the main. It's getting surrounded, but does kill it off. Ooh, that was a risky bisque.
Yeah, not the cleanest defense, but good enough. Like only lost 5 workers to 3 Widow Mines, and I imagine this medevac will be sniped off eventually. We could see it escape. Oh. No, gets out.
The Stalkers are pushing out across the map and probably trying to snipe that.
Yeah, he's gonna catch it. He's gonna catch it. He's gonna catch it. Blake. Ooh.
Wait, can it reach that? I think it can reach that.
Nah, yeah, you can. You totally can. I think Nina was expecting it just to continue its course, but because of that scouting marine, Vindicta saw where the Stalkers were and he was able to back off and keep his medevac alive. Meanwhile, looks like going for more drops, going for a bio tank, which, you know, is pretty good. Still no 3rd CC in sight, so focusing more on his army, Vindicta is.
These Stalkers aren't gonna do much, in my opinion. Just kind of sitting outside in the natural, just keeping the Terran player contained. Just waiting for any kind of push out that might happen or whatnot. That medevac is going around for a drop, so it hasn't been detected quite yet. But we'll see how far it gets. Does see it with the observer now, so Nina should be prepared. Probably warping in some amount of units. Picking off whatever she can for this against this Terran bio, but the drop does happen. Warp-ins do come in. Only 3 Stalkers. I don't know how effective this is gonna be because but Colossus backing up probably do more damage. That gets rid of the Artosis pylon, or some people would say in control pylon. But Zealots with no charge trying to fight the bio do get a good surround, get some of the Marauders. This force fields kind of go against Nina for blocking the pathing for a bit. Charge does come in, goes on top, blinks on top of the siege tank, takes out the siege tank. Mines do get some good connections, and it's pretty even trade, I would say. More tech units being picked off for Vindicta, but
solid defense by Nina. I do think that Vindicta probably had an opportunity there to like inflict more damage with drops, but instead just picked up and came back and reinforced here outside the 3rd base. Behind this, Vindicta is expanding. He is getting his 3rd up and running, which I do like, as he's applying pressure and keeping Nina busy at home. But I don't think Vindicta's going to find too much damage here. It is just pure bio. There's no more Widow Mines. There's no tanks with this either. It's just trying to keep Nina honest and at home.
Did Nina shoot her own zealot?
No. That was a marine. It's so good.
Oh no, but because before it looked like she shot her own zealot or something like that.
Mate,
and I thought maybe she was just testing out the extended thermal lance or something.
Making sure it's not faulty. You know,
making sure it's working. You know, just making sure. You know, it's like, oh, it's research. All right, let's test it out real quick. QA.
God damn it. I do have a drop coming out again. It is going to be spotted by this observer. So Nina, there it is. We do have a couple of Stalkers being warped in. Does get 1 full medevac.
That was a good chunk of supply. I was surprised that it wasn't one-shotted. I felt like that was enough Stalkers one-shotted. Yeah. Just trying to kite, just buying himself some time. Not sure how big of an army Vindicta has back at home. It looks pretty decent for the size of the Gloss, with Liberators and a few mines for support. It is a doable fight, but the setup has to be just right. The Liberators do set up, but units do get move out of it. It was pretty good force fields. Still got a hold though. enough to kite the Bio Army back. Stalkers are shooting the Liberators down, which is good for Nina, but the Colossus aren't doing anything, and Vindicta just rushing in, being able to pick up both Colossus. Zealot reinforces are coming in, trying to charge in, but Liberators are getting set up now. Not enough Stalkers to shoot those Liberators down, but Zealots are so good, trading pretty well with the Bio Army. It's a very, very delicate dance that Nina has to do. Oh!
Blinks into the Windmine shot. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it has to be so careful. But Nina does hold, and I do feel like those reinforcing units was what Nina needed to push that army back. That was looking a little bit scary there because Vindicta, it felt like he saw blood in the water. He just stimmed in, killed 2 Colossus, but Nina just barely had enough to push Vindicta away. I'm not too sure who came out on top. Vindicta lost all of his Liberators, but he did kill 2 Colossus, so I guess they traded kind of evenly. But what Nina does have going for her is that she did establish her 4th base, and it's already getting fully saturated.
Yeah, Nina just has to like be careful about her army composition. She has to have a good balance of Stalkers and Zealots.
Yeah.
Just like have enough so that her Stalkers can get rid of the air that are hitting her Colossus, while her Zealots are keeping the Bio Army busy.
Yeah.
Vindicta's just like walking around, trying to see what he can do, just sending out Liberators here and there, trying to poke at some amount of damage. I would like to see a few more drops, just to attempt, just to keep Nina on her toes. Can't have both armies on the middle of the map and just dance around each other.
Yeah, especially if you're a Vindicta. I feel like Vindicta, it's on him to try and deal more damage. And yeah, he was sending out a couple of Liberators, but at the same time, I feel like drops would be better. You need those Liberators here to deal with the main army. That's kind of his anchor right now. It's what he's using to push away the army and make it difficult for Ninja to engage when he blinks in. Oh boy.
It was a good pick on that Liberator, getting it just as it was trying to set up. And this is the hard part about playing Libs against Protoss, is you have to keep setting it up, and once you don't set up, then that's a prime opportunity for this Protoss Spirit to hit in. EMPs do go down, they're pretty good. A lot of these Protoss units are solved out. Zealots do come from behind, not really doing anything. They were trying to meet up with the army, but can't get it done. Colossus getting shot down by Vikings, and Nina is on the run.
Yeah, oh god, so many Colossus went down. Once again, Nina down to 1 Colossus. And to be fair, there are Disruptors on the way as well. And High Templar, Jesus Christ, she's getting a little bit of everything right now. And now with these reinforcing units, Vindicta has to get out.
Templars are going to be good. We're going to see how good these Storms are. There are Ghosts, and hopefully the EMPs will be great. Ghosts in the back coming in, trying to EMP perhaps, but the Templars are being pulled away, which is great. A good Storm for that, soaking up, eating those Bio units, but the Medivacs are there to heal them up. That's a big Zealot warp in.
That's a massive Zealot warp in. Luckily, there was a wave of units in production, so they are already here. EMPs, and this should be cleaned up, nicely done. At the same time, though, Nina is trying to find a way into the 4th base. Snipes another Liberator, but I don't think there's enough here. I got sniped. Where are the High Templar? Okay, they're in the back. All right. I was so confused. Yeah, it feels like Nina just barely has enough just to hold on. I do feel like Vindicta probably has an opportunity though to push out pretty soon, especially with the amount of ghosts that he has. Does confirm that Nina's expanding. I feel like he needs to do something about Nina's economy. Nina has been left alone for far too long.
Yeah, Nina's just playing like a Zerg player. I don't understand how she's doing this. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. But Vindicta sending out drops or SCVs, I guess, to fight this army. But main fight is about to happen. Storms do go down. EMPs on. Few of those Stalkers pretty good. 4 Marauder drop, classic hashtag Captain America Pult move right there.
Oh yo, look at this! Look at this! Oh, it gets EMP'd.
Oh, that was quick reaction on Vindicta's part right there, spotting the High Templar right as the air units were able to see it. Nina just getting everything, like you said, Colossus, Disruptors, Archons, and High Templars, trying to get all the AoE, trying to set up a good place, a good concave to fight, but Zealots are being kind of picky. Stalker's Duplicate trying to shoot down some Liberators, a good Disruptor shot, taking out a few units, but these Liberator fields are bothering Nina a lot.
Yeah, Vindicta is finally taking his 5th base, not fully saturated quite yet, but is about to be under siege. Oh, he's not in position to protect it. It could end up getting focused down. Oh god, it's so close, and there it is.
EMP on the Zealots, softening them all up. Liberators one-shotting them pretty much, and I don't know. These medevacs are going to Nina's base. I wonder Nina is going to react accordingly to this. Just put it in a warp bin at the warp prism, so recall is being made, and that forces Vindicta to pick up and go. But this also causes Nina to move her position further back.
Exactly. Like forcing that recall, I feel like gives Vindicta the opportunity to push out and start applying pressure to these fringe bases. Now the army here for Nina is quite small and everything is forced to come back. And as this comes back, like Vindicta could just drop again.
EMPs were pretty good. Disruptor shots are going out, but hitting nothing. I think all of Nina's High Templars are out of energy except for these two here. These two are trying to storm. Doesn't really catch all of them, but it's pretty decent. Vindicta just going in, killing off bases left and right, and EMPing Nina's army as
the ghosts are a little bit exposed though. Like they're trailing behind the army right now.
Dude, these EMPs are disgusting.
Yeah, they're so good right now. Yeah, at the same time.
Stay hydrated, gamers.
Stay hydrated. We got another drop in the main base. There are defensive DTs, but at the same time, the main army gets the EMP'd again.
I don't think Nina has any more storms.
Yeah. EMPs just blanketed everything, and now there's no storms for the High Templar.
These disruptor shots have to be money. The splits are pretty good.
Oh god! That was all the ghosts!
That was disgusting. That was a mistake on Vindicta's part. Liberators do have to start setting up, but the army does move out just in time. One disruptor almost getting killed. DTs are out now. Are they going to be for Archons, or are they going to be for some harassment? Not the Archons.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to circle around and deal some harassing damage. There are no missile turrets set up defensively, so there's no detection quite yet. Meanwhile, Nina is trying to hit the 5th base once again of Vindicta, and I feel like this may be Nina's opportunity.
Nina's trying to fight it, but she's fighting against the Planetary Fortress and a Bio Army. Dark Templars do clean up SCVs and a command center. This is so strange. Nina doesn't have the AoE to just clear out those SCVs.
Yeah.
Repairing that planetary, but trying to fight the bio, and Marines aren't good against Colossus, and there's no air units to shoot down the Colossus, so this is a super sketch for Vindicta.
I'm kind of worried. There are just so many. There it is. I was gonna say there's so much supply in those medevacs. He had so many medevacs up in the air and so little bio. And Vindicta, he was just pulled apart a little bit. He lost like almost 2 bases just to those DTs. And I feel like the turning point was when we saw that disruptor shot. It killed like 5 ghosts in one shot. Like as soon as that happened, like it just tipped in Nina's favor.
That was hot.
That was insane.
That was disgusting. Vindicta had a fighting chance. Getting those EMPs to hit were so good.
Yeah.
But it was just losing the ghosts and then losing the liberators like super quickly, because a lot of the times where Nina was trying to pressure, the liberators weren't even set up. They were just following the army. And right as Nina was attacking, then Vindicta would start setting up. But
yeah,
got to preemptively set up just in case. And
definitely
push happens.
I mean, despite the late siege ups with his liberators, like Vindicta was looking really good. Like, especially when there was a certain point where his drop, he killed a nexus to the north, and then he killed the nexus to the south as well. And even though he was being pushed back, like it felt like he had the army that he needed to defend as well. Like he was looking really good that game, but Nina was just able to edge it out at the end. Sometimes in these games it comes down to these small moments where it's like that one like storm hit, or in this case that one disruptor hit. Like sometimes that's all it takes to win a game at these higher levels. Like you can't mess up like that. Like it can just be so costly if you do.
Nina likes getting lobby bugs. Oh yeah,
so
put
good.
me in. I'm ready to fight against Vindicta. Let's go.
Let's go. But yeah, we are getting set up for game number 2. Nina up 1-0 so far, and honestly, this can still be anyone's series. Like Vindicta definitely had a lot of opportunities there. It was looking so good for him as well. It was just, again, just these little things where, you know, whether it's pre-sieging up liberators to just take better engagements in general, or yeah, just trying to split and dodge disruptor shots.
Well, if we're gonna wait for Nina, I'm gonna go use the restroom.
Okay, it's fine. You're already in the lobby. It's fine. Okay. As you know, as Milk uses the restroom, as we wait for Nina to get set up in the lobby, of course, guys, make sure to ! Matcherino in the chat. I'll just, as there is a Matcherino page to this tournament, Battle of the Americas. You can use code NAVLA16 to add $1 to the prize pool. So yeah, you can help support the tournaments. Of course, all OSC events, they host a lot of weeklies, a lot of StarCraft 2 tournaments throughout the week. They are sponsored by Matcherino, so there's Matcherino pages for pretty much everything that OSC does. So yeah, you can help support the tournament, and if you want, you can donate or give some of your own money. It isn't just coupon codes. There is the option there to help boost the prize pool in general. Top two do get paid out, and something that we'll get into later is that there is also a random raffle. We do offer a participation award to anyone who played today. Obviously not people who got walked over, who weren't able to show up, period, but yeah, there is a raffle so that anyone can win some money. It's to help support like participation in these tournaments, and to help like not just support the best players, but also to keep more mid-tier players, or just players in general. I guess. So yeah, it's cool that OSC does this. They do it in a couple of their tournaments, these participation awards. They also give bonuses to the highest placing Latin American player and the highest placing American player, which is pretty cool. Which in this case will be the first and second place, because these semis are set up in a way where it's United States versus Mexico in the finals, regardless of the outcome. So yeah.
Hola, mi amo es Brian.
Welcome back, Milk.
So I guess Nina went AFK again after joining.
Yeah, Nina joined. We're just waiting to make sure Nina is ready before we start. Just letting them know we are ready, and
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, here.
I'm ready. Is it 2-1? I said 2-1, right? So I think Vindicta is going to win this one.
Ooh, okay. Here's the big question. Not which one of these players will advance to the finals, but which one of these players has the best chance at beating Special in the finals?
But is it going to be Special, or is it going to be Cham?
I have no idea. I'm just throwing this out there, giving you scenarios, letting you speculate.
I think Nina probably has the better chance of beating Special and Cham, but it is Special, and Special did beat. Was it Cure?
It was Cure. Yeah, it was Cure.
With no upgrades as Ferrari mech. So, you know.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so like it was a couple of days ago now, or I think it was last week actually. Special, he won 3-1 over Cure, I believe. We were just looking at those results earlier. So Special in the TVT, it'd be a tough ask for Vindicta to say the least. But again, we'll see how this turns out. Whether it's Nina versus Special, whether Cham takes down Special as well. Cham, of course, kind of overshadowed in the Mexican scene by Special. Cham, he's definitely a good player in his own right, but he has always been kind of second best or third best to the other Latin American Terrans in Special and Kelazar. But enough about that. We have a series.
Enough about that. We got a series, like you said, like, because in the top left corner of the map, we have a red Terran player playing for Team Alpaca X. It has been Vindicta. Olay.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Exxon Gaming. It is Nina.
So you think Nina's gonna win 2-0?
I'm not sure. I would like to see this go to game 3, regardless of the score, whether Vindicta wins or Nina wins. I would love this for this to go all the way to the ace match. So I want Vindicta to win this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, shout out to Orcam. Orcam, I think is how he said it. He is the owner of Cosmos Esports, which of course picked up Special recently. So he is in the chat checking out his player. So thanks for supporting the scene. It's really cool to see him, like the team owner, as a viewer as well. You don't see that too often.
Cosmos Gaming.
Yeah. Cosmos. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
God damn it, Milk.
Sure, it doesn't matter. Either one works.
Yeah, Cosmos. I'm pretty sure it's Cosmos Esports, right? Or is it gaming? Esports?
Either one works.
Either one works.
They said. Oh! I wonder if there's a Vuvuzela soundboard I can find.
I don't think that'd be a good thing.
I'm gonna find one.
Even if you did find one, I don't think.
Vuvuzela soundboard. Board. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully.
Instant sound effect button. Yes.
So Nina of course did need a little bit of time before the game started. Hopefully everything's okay. Again, Nina is streaming, so yeah, maybe there's like a delivery or something. Hopefully it's not something too serious. Hopefully it's not the internet. Yeah.
It's not delivery light. It's DiGiorno.
What?
Don't worry about it.
What?
It's a pizza commercial.
That's not a thing here.
You know,
it's not a thing.
Yeah. It's a frozen pizza commercial. So they try to market it, so it's like better than delivery pizza. So they say it's not delivery.
I question that. Frozen pizza better than delivery? What?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, but you know, there's a pro at the middle of the map. It's pretty interesting, right? Like, you know, could be. I want to see some kind of cheeky proxy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Vindicta's one to do that. We'll see. Maybe Nina is. Especially since Nina's.
Could you imagine if Vindicta just proxies right now? Just sends the SCVS and SCV out and just be like, fuck it, let's go.
I feel like it'd be a little bit late, but
it's fine.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Sure, why not? speaking of which, did you want to like open up Nina's stream in another tab and be like, "Yo,
fine, I'll take a look.
What's going on?" I don't know if it's something serious or I don't know, maybe the dog like tipped over the table.
Holy shit, Noni is streaming.
Noni? Yeah. My god, the OG. Yeah, I saw Noni started streaming a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago.
Yeah, she's the camera. So she has two cameras. One's on her keyboard, one's on her chair. She's not at a chair, but the thing that's open is not StarCraft. It's a fucking it's Liquidpedia.
Nice.
All right, she's back on her chair.
Okay, yeah.
Put it on her headset.
Okay, all right.
She's sparkling.
Here we go. Getting back into it. Thank you for the updates. As I'm not a ref, so one of the players is gonna have to count down and unpause.
Is no one a ref?
Oh, I don't think so. Otherwise, at the very top, it would say a ref needs to unpause.
Do they not know that no one's a ref and they're trying to like?
Yes, they're trying to. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
They're like hinting. They're like, guys, we're ready. Yeah, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Just any moment now. And because none of us are refs, we can't talk to them. Like we're speaking in observer chat. We're like,
It's like these two pinche madres. What are they doing? Make one of us a ref next time, you know?
But yeah, something that we just saw was a pretty early Twilight Council coming down for Nina. Wow. Yeah, I mean the Nexus hasn't even finished yet. You know, it's pre 3-minute Twilight Council, so it is hidden back here. The Reaper is still alive though, so Vindicta could go in for a second scout and spot this, as Nina's Adept was trying to hunt down the Reaper. Yeah, he's gonna see this.
Yeah, he's probably gonna scout this. Stalker wasn't ready, not even in position.
No, he's not going in.
What?
No,
it's not even.
Okay,
does see it. Yeah, does see it. It's upgrading something. There, that mule is depressing. Get that mule back to work. But this Adept is gonna shade out. Easy peasy. 2 probes did go down though, so that's pretty good for Vindicta. I think he lost the Reaper while he's at it. Yeah.
He lost the Reaper. But you know, solid 2 workers and a solid scout of the tech. So now Vindicta does know what the opening is. We'll be able to set up. We'll see even if he sets up very defensively, as he is going for a Widowmine drop again.
2 Widowmines, however, instead of the 3rd, and getting a tech lab right away on the factory. So probably gonna start pumping out tanks or maybe even a Cyclone, but most likely tanks, I would say, to prepare himself for this Blink Stalker opening.
Yeah, I like this. I like how he kind of adapted, or he changed his opener from game number 1 to adapt to what he scouted, right? Like it's pretty cool that he did that.
Liberator as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay. To have a Liberator. Meanwhile, we have double Robo coming down.
Whoa, double Robo, man.
Okay.
Gonna be double the immortal. Oh, just kidding. It's
okay. I was really confused. I'm like, you don't see this in PvT.
I think she forgot. Yeah. I think that's probably it. She forgot that she built one, and then she was building another one, and then realized, oh, I have a Robo in my main. She canceled that one.
Yeah. She as many people do, confused the term Robo and Robo. Really wanted a robotics bay, not another facility. And yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but are those the boys?
Yep. It's got the boys to repair the tank. Oh, never mind. 2, throw down a couple of bunkers. Oh boy.
The medevac is coming in with a mine drop as well in the back. Natural. See how many probes are being shot. It's a good probe pool, but 5 probes do go down still, and the damage, the fight in the front. Gonna lose these 2 gateways. Vindicta thought we thought that Nina was gonna put on blink pressure, but Vindicta was like, nah, son, I'm gonna put down the pressure. Look at my Marines, look at my tank. I got a medevac. Mine, they did all right, but that was just a distraction. Now Nina's kind of in an awkward position, losing a sentry and a few probes. Don't know what to do, but going with the counterattack with the counter blink. I don't know how much, if she can pull off enough pressure to force Vindicta to come back home.
Yeah, that's it. GG. So I didn't really get to talk about it, but that opener, that build, I should say, that Vindicta just did, we've seen it quite a few times. Special has whipped it out. I think Uthron was on it as well. If that push out doesn't get spotted and doesn't get hindered, like in the middle of the map, like it's, I want to say, almost impossible to hold. Like, you need to know that that's coming, and then Nina with her blink stalkers needs to be out on the map and then slowly like chipping away at the army. And of course, if it was a Stargate opener instead, then try and find an angle to focus down the tank as well with phoenixes and stuff. Like, there are different ways to deal with it, but yeah, Nina had no idea that it was coming until it was at the natural. That's just the worst case scenario. Like, the tanks were already sieged up, the bunkers were going down, there was already bio, at the same time there was a Widowmine drop. Like, that was rough.
Well, looks like we're not even ready checking casters. The players just want to go right in. Nina wants to punch Vindicta in the face, get some revenge. You think Nina's gonna go even more aggressive, or you think she's gonna do the same thing?
I would love to see something different. So far, both games we've seen blink openers, and I mean, you know, they're pretty safe, I guess, but I would like to see some Stargate thrown in. I feel like
I want to see her on the offensive. Go again, start blinking into people. But it is Purity and Industry, so we'll see where what happens, because at the 12 o'clock position on Purity Industry LE, we have our red Terran player playing for our team Alpaca X. It is Vindicta.
And spawning in the right-hand corner, the 3 o'clock position of Purity and Industry LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Exxon Gaming. It is Nina.
I like that every time we cast and like it's like towards the end of the match, we're like in the middle of a sentence and they say GG and we just stop.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, okay. Yeah. GG.
Yeah. GG.
Just stop the cast. Stop talking about the fight. Just like, oh, and the siege tanks got killed and GG. It's like, that's it. It's so abrupt.
I mean, that was pretty abrupt. That was, you know, it was Vindicta. Like, it was Nina going for like a counterattack, but then didn't even do anything with the counterattack. Like, it was like, as that was happening, Nina realized that it was a little bit futile. Yeah, it was an odd timing.
Stay hydrated, gamers.
Stay hydrated. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that this map made it through the vetoes, Purity and Industry. I feel like it's meant to be a more, or as it's seen as a more Terran favored map. So I'm a little bit worried for Nina, to be honest, getting into this series.
I want to see a Stargate.
Right, especially on this map, you know, like there is a short rush distance. I feel like Vindicta doing what he's been doing, like he's even more favored, like with his Widowmine drops as well. So yeah,
I want to see mass phoenixes.
I don't know about that one. You know, maybe if we were...
I think it'd be such a dope, like, big brain mind fuck play. It'd be so good.
I mean, it would. You know, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I don't know how well it would work, as we are... Oh. Okay.
But it's a robo.
Yeah. So we are getting something different, you know, at least. It isn't a Twilight Council opening for once. Robo, I don't know how I feel about this. So I imagine we're going to be seeing some War Prism play, some upgrade-less harass with gateway units. Yeah. Question mark?
Question mark. Big question mark. 100%.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Vindicta, of course, going for his 1/1/1 opener. A little bit different though. Very different to what he's been doing.
Hellions instead of Widow Mines.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Hellion
I
drop?
wonder if he's going to get 4 Hellions by the time the medevac finishes. The Reaper is jumping into the main but does get killed right off. So no tech has been spotted, it seems like. I don't think he knows about the...
He hasn't seen anything in the main. Anything
oh man, is this going to be a Disruptor drop?
What? All right. Sure.
That'd be so dope.
I mean, it's so weird because it looked like that's what Nina was trying to do last game, right? Nina did go for the Robo and the Robotics Bay. Of course, Nina did mess up a little bit with the buildings and had to cancel and remake stuff. So, and the game kind of ended before Nina had the opportunity to get that underway. But here on a map like this, on the short rush distance, we'll see. It could definitely work out, but Vindicta is going to be the first player to apply some aggression.
Ooh, Marines in the medevac and Hellions in the front is the way Vindicta is going to play this. Their Stalker's already in position to deny the medevac. So this drop isn't going to do as much. The Hellions are going to natural, but there are Stalkers there as well. I wonder how many probes that Vindicta can kill. 1 Hellion already goes down. No probes have been killed yet, and I don't think any damage is going to happen, really. 2 probes. 3 probes.
3
probes were 3 Hellions. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that wasn't a good trade for Vindicta. Ideally, you want a little bit more, and yeah, the drop was forced away as well. So nicely done by Nina, going for that Robo opening, getting that Observer
first. It's a Colossus drop.
What?
Yes, Queen. Getting Warp Prism speed and not even extend. Oh man, this Colossus drop. I'm so excited.
So, the last time I saw this was Neeb. Neeb did this in the TSL qualifiers, which was like a couple of weeks ago, and it was kind of weird because he did it against an opponent that he was very favored against. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's just throwing that in there. But Nina doing this against Vindicta on a map like Purity and Industry, maybe. We'll see how much damage can get done.
It's gonna go. The Colossus are dropping. It's going pew pew. Vindicta has to pull SCVs away. The tank is siege, but this War Prism is gonna be jungling the Colossus like a boss.
Yeah, and because of the siege tanks, like this Colossus isn't gonna be able to find too much damage. Like they were already sieged up and the Colossus was forced away, so far hasn't been able to find any damage. We'll see if Nina can find some more, as Nina is rotating around to just try and hit the natural. But now we also have Vindicta. Like, now he has a higher tank count. He can spread himself a little bit more and try and protect each of his bases. There is a missile turret as well to help out, and I don't know. Oh my god, he's gonna be able to get it. He's going for it. He's trying to snipe.
I was really hyping up this Colossus drop, but it's not really that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you were getting excited. And I'm like, I haven't really seen this work too often, especially against players who are of similar skill. As the Colossus drop gets immediately pushed away, it's only killed like 2 workers. Meanwhile, the push is coming. Well, the tanks are here. 4 tanks and this bio. Vindicta looking strong right now. And it does get spotted though by Nina. So Nina does know that this is coming and will be able to try and stop this as it moves out across the map.
Ooh, catching the tanks unsieged. Will be able to get as many kills as she wants. Only 1 tank does get killed. A couple of bio. Extended third last about to finish with charge, so if Nina can just hold off to get those upgrades, I think she'd be in better position. Charge does finishes, the Zealots are going in, but they're getting picked off 1 by 1 by the bio. The Colossus are trying to do what they can, and Vindicta's still in a really good spot. However, killing off his own units and down 2 tanks from the original push, it's gonna be a bit of a trouble. trying to drop on top of Nina's production, getting the Robo facility or bay and the Robo bay as well. This is really annoying for Nina because there's a Liberator denying her. The siege tanks are doing a lot of damage against her armored units. This is a little sus, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, even though Nina, I feel like Nina should be able to clean this up. Vindicta dealt a lot of damage, was able to kill both the robotics bay and facility, was able to kill 2 of the Colossus, maybe even this 3rd one if it gets focused down. Oh god, the Colossus, it's 1 more shell away, does manage to survive. And Nina took a lot of damage in that engagement.
Yeah, having to rebuild, get the Robo facilities and Robo base back up is gonna take some time. Although Nina is on her 3rd base and it is mining way before Vindicta's, but still, it's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah,
might as well just go into like storms. Screw the Colossus tech, just grab storms.
Yeah, I mean, Colossus aren't going to be starting anytime soon. Like, Nina can't make a robotics bay because there's no robotics facility, so the Colossus are going to be delayed so much more. I do think that maybe getting something like Storm instead would be the better option, as Vindicta is looking so good right now. He's trying to apply pressure here at the 3rd base, but Nina is in position. Nina should be able to push this away without losing too much. I say that, but Nina, please. Oh god, how many workers are going to go down?
Your base is under attack. Now just realizing that 4 probes do go down, but it's not too bad. Could do more damage. Oh god!
Wow.
That was
all right. Nina's back in this.
Yeah, Nina's back in this. 100%. Even supply, even workers, even army. Easy.
Yeah. Losing that drop was very costly. For free, Nina didn't lose anything for that. And Vindicta, I mean, I do like that he is trying to be active out on the map, trying to, remain in control, like have map control, I should say. But yeah, Nina is looking pretty good, getting those Templar, getting Archons to back her army up. Vindicta though,
going to Disruptors, double Disruptor build all the way. Vindicta going for Ghosts and Vikings, trying to cover all the possibilities that could come out of Nina. Super EMP too, which was good.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried for Vindicta because Vindicta doesn't really know what kind of AoE Nina's going for, so he could end up wasting a bunch of supply in Vikings when there's only 1 Colossus that's almost dead anyway. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, but we'll see as Viking production did stop. So Vindicta isn't committing to that quite yet. And behind this, yeah, we do have both players trying to get their 4ths up and running. Yeah, just gonna chill for a little bit. Just gonna macro up.
I want this War Prism to do something. Something.
Yeah, Nina's kind of been using the War Prism as an observer, basically, just like trying to find, like, for scouting information. When it definitely could be out there dealing some harassing damage.
However, this War Prism always sees drops for some reason. I don't understand how.
I'm telling you, it's an observer.
He's just like, I'm just gonna fly around this way. Oh, hey, look, medevac's are over there. I'm gonna fly around this way. Oh, hey, look, there's a medevac over there. Oh.
It's all planned.
Nina is starting to try to push out. I think Vindicta saw the army, so trying to just set up for it. There's a lot of zealots, a good amount of stalkers. Does see the disruptors now, so Vindicta should be starting to pre-split. But tanks are in place. They are shelling the army of Nina already. But the first disruptor shot goes in, gets 2 marauders. It's pretty decent, but not exactly what Nina is looking for. It's just a test fire on that side.
Wow.
Sure. Nice. Love it.
Oh my god! It wasn't even that War Prism. It was a different War Prism.
That better be a fortress.
Oh boy! Oh, the tanks are out of position. They're not seeing
tanks are out of position. The disruptors are getting hit. It does get a couple goes, which is pretty good. It's just force fields aren't that great, but the disruptor shots don't really care. The tanks, both armies are just walking parallel to each other. EMPs were good. That was a pretty good disruptor shot, but only gets a few Marines. Oh, now this is going to be an interesting position for Nina. Nina's starting to try to get a better concave, trying to spread her units out to attack from two fronts, but we'll see. I really want to see her recall and recalls to the island.
I mean, we'll see if that even comes to it, as all the tanks look like they're going to be going down. It's just Bio and Ghost up against Nina's army, and it looks like Vindicta, he does lose his last tank. At the same time, though, oh god, all the Vikings went down.
Nina has a lot of stalkers. I don't think it's the stalkers that she wants.
Yeah.
However, she does have a good amount of visitors, so stalkers might be the better option. But these splits are pretty decent from Vindicta. EMPs are good, but now everything's stacked up. Well, it does snipe the disruptor for us, which is really good. I feel like Nina is just got to retreat and just bait out shots with the disruptor. But I think all her disruptors are on cooldown. There's one just came off cooldown. There's a recall on the probes. I think they went to the top. But DT's in the main? Hello?
Oh, he's forcing Vindicta back, and this is Nina's opportunity to pounce on the army.
Disruptor shot does come in, does get a few units, not too much. Just softens up the siege tank by a lot. And Nina's just doing crazy amount of damage back home. Isn't really killing a lot of things, but denying reinforcements and add-ons. God, I fucking forgot the word.
Yeah, I mean, what's important is that Nina is pulling Vindicta's attention apart, and because of that, Nina was able to push out into the map, force Vindicta back, and get some decent trades with this army. At the same time, Vindicta doesn't know about that island base, so he feels like he's in a better position economically than he really is. Nina's actually looking pretty decent right now, and yeah, even expecting more behind this. Oh god.
Disruptor!
Oh god! Okay. Well, those splits, I was getting a little bit worried there. Well, I feel like what I do like from Vindicta is that he is working on his liberators again, but he only has one with this army.
Yeah. His reactor got taken out on his Star Force. He's only building one air unit at a time. I think with that draw, Vindicta feels confident that Nina doesn't have a lot of bases, so he's trying to be more aggressive, start pushing forward. The EMPs were good, and Nina's units don't have a lot of shields, but that's a good concave from Vindicta. We'll see what happens. Splits are pretty good. The disruptor shots aren't hitting their mark quite yet. Oh, that was a good one right there. But there's so many ghosts for Vindicta. It's kind of haunting.
Again, he still doesn't know about the island, and also, that was awful, by the way. That was awful. You even chuckled yourself at that. That was awful. God damn it, Milk. Just shaking my head.
This choke is really dangerous for Vindicta because of the disruptors, but the tanks are helping a little bit. I feel like the Liberator, with the tanks pushed up, Vindicta can push that Liberator up a little bit. Those are some good EMPs. Pretty much all the army has no shields right now. Disruptor shots still going out, but not getting what they want exactly, only picking off a few units here and there. Oh, that's pretty decent one. Still, a lot of ghosts are still alive, but Nina is pushing this army back. More EMPs hitting the already shieldless army of Nina. I think Nina is down to 2 disruptors, it looks like.
Yeah, as that was happening, there was some Zealot harass in the main base of Vindicta, so his production was hurting as well. But it looks like Vindicta may be able to take down this Nexus.
That is true. Nina's having a bit of trouble controlling her armies. Some of our army was on the other side of Vindicta's army, and they're just running into each other. I feel like Nina is just deciding, fuck it, let's go. Hitting the YOLO button, trying to fight any reinforcements that's coming. But Vindicta's army does come back, and a lot of them do get disruptor shotted. It's just Marauders versus Stalkers now, and
he just lost all his ghosts. All the ghosts that were with that main army. Like, it gets cleaned up, and now with these reinforcements, it's just pure bio and tank.
Oh,
he's scared! He sees Island!
He's scared! He knows! Nina, make it into a fortress!
Oh god, Nina needs to throw down cannons and shield batteries now that it's been scanned. I don't know if Nina noticed that the scan went down during all of that, and this is getting really scrappy because Nina lost those fringe bases. Vindicta was expanding behind this, but was also losing a lot of workers to that harassment. Still, the worker count is pretty even between these two players, but Vindicta has the bases, has like more efficient mining right now. We'll see if Nina can find some more as this is happening. The island.
It has dropped on Nina's island, but try to warp in some DTs to cover him, but oh no! Vindicta's army is pretty scary. It's just pretty much a lot of it is Marauders.
Yeah.
With only a few
the disruptors going down.
All of Nina's army is just Stalkers, but that was a good disruptor hit. And shoot. Now it's really changed up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was looking so good for Vindicta, but in that last moment, he lost all of his fire, but the reinforcements look like they're enough to push Nina away, and now it's gotten to the point that Nina is kind of starving. Like, the island is gone, the south base is gone, only now just getting Nina's only mining base saturated, but there it is.
Wow. What did I tell you, Light? 2-1.
I told you it was going to be a 2-1. GG, Vindicta with the 2-1 win over Nina. Wow. That was, what a game. What a game. There were island bases. There was a Colossus drop. To the detriment of Nina, there was a Colossus drop. It didn't deal any damage whatsoever. That was such a big investment early on that just didn't pay off. And then after that, again, the island base paid for itself. Like, it was unscattered for so long. It was a great move by Nina. But at the end of the day, like, Vindicta was so on point with his splits. The disruptor shots didn't really land until the end, like towards the end of the game. And up until that point, Vindicta was just on point with his army control. At the same time, though, Nina was always like warping in zealots and DTs in the main base. Like, it was a beautiful game. It was great.
Yeah. Biggest issue was that Nina's bases were getting picked off, and
yeah.
Vindicta just kept Vindicta's bases were always mining no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And that mineral mining flux, that, what am I saying? The amount of mining that Nina wasn't doing was causing her downfall.
Yeah, you could definitely argue that maybe it's a little bit on Nina, where Nina kept her warping in on the other side of the map, right? Kept harassing the main base, when really maybe Nina should have been focusing on the bases to the left, maybe the 4th or 5th base, and trying to focus on dealing SCV damage instead of camping the production. It's hard to say, but yeah, like, regardless, Nina put up a very good fight. It could have gone either way, and yeah, GG, Vindicta advances to the finals.